Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I've been doing pretty good. Been very tired. I've been going full force on my business here and my day job, and got a wedding coming up soon, although I don't know if that's gonna all happen. But I'm still getting married anyways. So I'm super tired. I wish I could make more videos for you guys, but I'm gonna try to make like a couple a week, but for sure I'll at least release one a week. But anyways, I want to talk about discipline and focus. This is probably going to be one of the most important videos that I'll make because these two things are like the recipe for success, whatever that means to you. That's a really broad definition, and it can mean one thing to another person and another thing to another person. So that's for you to decide. But a lot of people, they ask me questions like, oh, what kind of how do you do this or how do you do that? They're really like small questions that you can honestly find online. That's not really that important, although I will make videos and answer those kind of things too, like as we go along, um, as I show you how, how to make clothing brand, how to run that and stuff. But this is honestly like the most important thing to learn as a business person. And I think as an individual, if you have discipline and focus, you're going to be set on a way better path in life in whatever area that you're focusing on, like in your daily life, your business life, your family life, spiritual life, whatever avenue you want to take it with. If you have these two things, you're gonna just excel above everything, right? But in this context, I'm talking about a business sense, right? And I've come to learn, especially this year, that having discipline and focus is really the two keys to actually, getting the ball rolling, moving stuff forward, growing a brand, growing a business, and growing yourself. And it's honestly like it's been life changing pursuing these two things, and every day it's a pursuit, right? I haven't met someone that's 100% disciplined and 100% focused because we're all humans, right? Um, Although, honestly, the more you do these two things, you become like kind of not human in a way. You become like a robot, which is good, right? Because you just really narrow in on what's important, and you're just doing the same thing, like the routines, right? You're going through every day. You're like a machine, right? And I've been studying the human body a lot and how stuff works in health. And it's really true. Humans are like robots and machines. We're like the most complex machine in the universe, right? It's insanely intricate, like how your human body is designed and all this stuff. If you ever go down that rabbit trail, I think you will like it's hard to get out of there. It's insane. And I really like that. I really like machines. Like I love like weaponry, guns, like jet fighters. Like that stuff is so cool to me. Like like spaceships. I just think that stuff's so cool. But when you study the human body, like that's insane. That's a rabbit trail, but I'm off focus right now. But so the first thing we talk about is discipline. And discipline is like it's basically like developing routines and habits, right? And I'm gonna write that down. That's like the first thing. Developing routines plus habits. It's basically becoming a habitual person, and in a good sense, right? You want to develop good habits and get rid of bad habits. That's what discipline does. It's like you have the good and the bad, and you're constantly working on both of these things. Every day I'm trying to get rid of bad habits, and that takes discipline and effort, right? The discipline is a big effort towards these things, right? And then you're also trying to develop good habits. The thing with routines and habits, and why it's so hard for people to develop good habits and good routines, is because they don't design those habits and routines as their default, right? So you want to design as a default. What do I mean by that? So you want to remove all obstacles and all barriers from you accomplishing your routines and your habits. So for instance, I'll make a whole video about this too. This is an example in how I wake up, right? So let's just do an example. Sleeping plus wake up early. So one of my disciplines, and even so today's Saturday, right? I woke up at 5 o'clock today. Even though it's Saturday, I could sleep in because that's a discipline and a routine for me, and I want to have that check mark. I accomplished this day. I want to have a whole calendar full of check marks of me waking up at 5 a.m. because that's important to me, and that's when I have mental clarity and I can focus on getting work done. Like even right now, I think it's like 7 something, there's a ton of people sleeping. They're not doing anything, right? And they're probably not going to do anything with their Saturday, which is unfortunate. So how I design this as a default, like waking up early. So to wake up early, you got to go to bed early. So that's a default for me. That's something I do no matter what. I have the room blacked out. I also no heavy meals at night. So this is like a pre waking up, right? That's the sleep part. For the wake up and the sleeping and waking up early, they're like interconnected, right? You have to do both things for it to work. And then when I wake up, I have my alarm away from my bed. I have to physically walk up, right? Alarm away from bed. There's no snooze button on it. I have a light set up there, and that helps me wake up because all the lights turn on, so it's not dark. Like my brain is like, oh, the lights are on, it's like sunlight, it's time to wake up, right? I have a light set up, and that is also a backup alarm because actually that has happened a few times where my phone didn't charge and then the light woke me up because it makes a clicking noise, which is really loud, and then it's extremely bright. Like you can't sleep through it, right? I also have a glass of water with on the table where I have my alarm. So I chug that, and that wakes me up, right? So, and that goes along with waking up early. So what I mean by design as a default, all of these things to pursue the discipline of waking up early and going to bed early, these are all defaulted. Like these are steps that I have in place every single day that I don't waver from. And if I waver from these steps, it's going to be very difficult to go to bed early, and it's going to be very difficult to wake up early, right? I'm not going to be able to pursue that discipline because I haven't developed my habit of doing that as a default, right? So you want everything to be a default. You don't want to, like when I do all this stuff, I don't think about it. It's already developed enough where I accomplish like, and there's a couple more steps I'm missing to this. There's probably like 10 steps for me to go to bed. And again, I'll make a video about this, but basically I do all of these steps and that's the default for the night, right? And then when I wake up early, it's not as difficult for me to wake up. There are a few adjustments I need to make with my sleep schedule because it is a little bit hard for me to wake up. Some days I wake up and I'm just like full of energy, right? And what I really have to do is like create a sleep log and stuff, because you know those days when you wake up and you just feel so great, you got full sleep, you have full energy, you're totally not sleepy, you like bounce out of bed because I feel like I'm getting into the whole sleep thing, but your body has sleep cycles, and when you interrupt the sleep cycle and you get up in that, that's why you're so tired and groggy, because you didn't finish the sleep cycle. Once you finish the sleep cycle, that's why you feel so energetic. Like you probably have noticed, like you might wake up at like 2 or 3 in the morning and to go to the bathroom or something, and you're just totally awake. You're not sleepy. You're like, oh, I could actually go and do stuff right now. Although you go back to bed because you know that's not good for you. You're not going to sleep throughout that day, right? So that's an example of like the sleep cycle, how that works, and how it's weird when you finish one and you have so much energy. But anyways, this is just an example of having design as a default and developing a routine, right? A habit. And discipline is like, another thing about discipline is that it's like a relentless pursuit. You're never going to reach peak discipline, right? Because you can always improve and you can always make it better. And honestly, there's just life happens, and you can't be 100% on top of everything, right? But what I kind of do as a mental thing is that you want to have like a range, right? Like 90 to 95%. So this is like accounting for human error, right? Because you can't really be 100% disciplined, you know? Because you're not a robot, right? You're not programmed for that. Like, you know how robots and machines, they have programs and they run on that every single day? They're like the most disciplined things in the world because they don't waver from that. And even, well, actually, even that, they sometimes they do waver because they have system errors and stuff, and they probably have like a 98 to 99% range of discipline, because even robots and machines and computers, they have system errors and they screw up and stuff happens, right? It just, stuff is unavoidable. So the other thing about discipline is that what people like young entrepreneurs and people that have businesses, or if you have a clothing brand, what they don't understand is that discipline is ultimately what gets you through with your business. It's not motivation. What happens is that people want to have bursts of motivation, and they rely on motivation every day to help them get through the day and get stuff done. But motivation and your willpower is like a fading thing. Your willpower fades as the day draws by, right? You're getting less and less of it, and you're making more and more decisions. You're getting more and more tired, right? And you're having brain fog as the day goes by. And motivation comes and goes, right? You can watch a motivational video, you can be inspired, but that doesn't really last you throughout the week or throughout the day even. Even a couple days ago, I lost motivation. I was just like, I don't know what to do. But how I overcame that was, I was like, okay, well, this is the time I work, right? I work from this time to this time. So I'm going to go on the computer and just work. And I was working, as I was doing my discipline, because my work is a discipline, right? I have a set time where I work and do stuff, and everything's scheduled out. As I was executing my discipline, that's when I actually got motivation and I got stuff done, right? So discipline can cause motivation, but just relying on motivation won't get you through the day. You have to rely on discipline. You have to just execute on the stuff, right? For instance, when people go to the gym, there are days when you don't want to go to the gym, right? And a lot of people that are really focused and disciplined at the gym, they go regardless of whether they want to go or not, right? One day they might have motivation and they're going to go and kill it, right? But another day they might not have motivation, right? And that's probably half the week, but they have the discipline and the routines and habits to do that, right? They're going to go to the gym regardless. And I heard this quote somewhere on YouTube, but the time or the day when you really don't want to go to the gym is the most important time or day to go, right? When I want to skip like hours of work and just not do anything, that's actually the most important time for me to do it, right? Because I have to overcome the barrier of me and the barrier of that and the discipline, right? I have to overcome not wanting to do it, right? And once I overcome that, then I'm staying on the rails. I'm staying on track with my disciplines and my routines, right? And it becomes easier that way, right? And like I said, if you are disciplined and you're pursuing that, you do get motivation from that because stuff starts building up. Like my example yesterday when I was on the computer, I was like, okay, I don't really want to do it, but I'm going to do it anyways, right? And I had a really great work day that day. I got a lot of stuff done. I sent out a bunch of important emails that I need to do. I got design work done, and I got like 3 new ideas. Usually, what happens when I'm creating one idea, I actually get like 2 or 3 new ideas. So I have like a humongous backlog of designs and like concepts I'm working on. Like I have a whole folder called working concepts, and there's probably like, I don't know, like 30 designs in there that are like half done or are still developing, because I like to develop stuff over the year. I'm constantly working on a lot of stuff at once, but I'm focused on one thing, right? I have just like backlog of stuff, and like I said, I'm focused on one thing, and that kind of leads me on to the next thing, is focus. So focus is like being a sniper, right? So you want to be a sniper. You don't want to have a shotgun and just point it and shoot and you try to kill whatever's there, right? You want to be a sniper, and people that are snipers, they actually have, their brain goes into different it's either like frequencies or wavelengths, whatever's going on in your brain. There's like all these different wavelengths, and their brain goes into like a different kind of mode, and that's how they can literally like sit or lay in an area for like a whole day, or like 8 hours, or however long they're there for. They're just there with their weapon, and they're just laser focused on something, right? They're not with a shotgun and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna point this wherever and shoot it, right? So you want to be a sniper in every area that you're trying to focus at, right? And what that means is that you are focused on one thing. So for instance, I'm making this video right now, and I'm trying to focus on just this, right? I'm trying to, even the topic right now is focus, and I'm focused on this, right? I'm trying to develop this point out. So when you're doing something, you don't want to be task switching. You don't want to be thinking about something else, and you don't want to have distractions by you, right? Have no distractions. And how do you do this? This is probably the hardest thing to do in our generation. I honestly believe that previous generations had a less difficult time with distractions because there wasn't any phones, technology, stuff buzzing, right? And to eliminate distractions and to be away from distractions is super key, because you want to get that workflow going. You want to be a sniper, right? You want to be laser focused on something, and you can't be laser focused on something with so many distractions, right? So in order to avoid distractions, you have to develop, like I said, the default for that. My default for no distractions, so no distractions, and this is when I'm working, this is like a thing, is to not have phone nearby. My desk or my computers are there with my desk, and I don't have my phone on it when I'm working. My phone is across the room on a table, and it should even be way farther. It should be locked up in a cabinet, to be honest, but I kind of need it because I have hotspot it and all that stuff. Later on, I'm gonna do that, and my phone also has like all the notifications turned off, all that stuff. The only way I see if you guys message me or email me is I have to actually click into the app and click on it, and then the stuff will pop up. I mean, honestly, otherwise, and if I didn't turn that off, literally my phone would be dinging and buzzing every second, because when I post something, you guys are, liking and commenting that, and I appreciate that. I love that. I have ads running every single day. I have the YouTube channel, I have email, I have the Shopify sales that are going through. So, and Pinterest. Literally, my phone probably buzzes more than like any of my friends or any people I know. Um, if I had like friends that were into entrepreneurship, I'm sure they would have the same thing. So this is almost like a necessity. I have to have that stuff turned off because literally my phone would be dinging every second. Like that's literally what's going on. So all the notifications are off. I think the only thing that's really on is phone calls, because when someone calls me on the phone, it's usually important and people don't really call me. And even then, like sometimes it just goes to voicemail and stuff. So, but I check that when I need to, you know. Another thing with no distractions is to, like, for instance, like not a lot of tabs open. When you're on your computer and you have 30 tabs open, how the heck are you focused on one thing? You're even looking at all that stuff. I don't even have a lot of applications open. Minimal apps open. I don't like working. Let's see, I have like InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, all these things open, my notes, Word doc. And you kind of don't want all that anyways, because it slows down your computer and it increases its likelihood to crash. You're gonna have a system error, right? Your computer is gonna go into that 98% range of functioning, right? It's not gonna be disciplined for you. So this is an example of what I do to focus. This is just a workflow. And if you are if you have a clothing brand or you have a business, honestly, you really need to do this. You're just not going to get anything done if you can't develop the habit of not being sucked into your phone. If you're watching this video and you love to just go on all my content and look at that, you're not really into business and stuff, that's fine. Like if that's like being on your phone is fun. Like I want to be on my phone. I love looking at photos. I love finding designs. I love answering comments, and you guys are super funny on the Instagram page and stuff. I love looking at like old YouTube videos and learning, but I have to have a discipline and be focused on getting the work done right. I have to be in a bubble of no contact, no distractions, right? So the other thing about focus is like you're just gonna accomplish more stuff. So you accomplish way more when you're constantly task switching. So that's like doing one thing, then another, then another, then another. You're not really doing everything excellent. You want to put excellence in every single thing you do. The way you brush your teeth, the way you drive your car, the way you talk to your girlfriend or boyfriend and listen to them, right? Even watching a movie, this is like insane. We live in a generation where people can't enjoy a movie. They're literally on their phone 24/7. They can't like be like, oh wow, the director, like the way they shot this scene, like all these hidden details, like a lot of movies are works of art, and you can't even enjoy that because you're so distracted. You can't focus on it, right? You're not even enjoying the good stuff in life. Even eating is like an art. People like just gobble down all their food in 1 second. They're not like savoring the flavor. They're not enjoying life because they're not focused on one thing. So every single thing you do in life, do it in excellence and do it in focus, and you're gonna really see like a dramatic shift in like just enjoying the flavor of life, right? And like I said, so a person that's focused, so focused for 4 hours will accomplish more than 8 hours unfocused. And if you don't believe me on that, try it. One day, so record this. One day when you're working and you're like, okay, I'm going to be super focused. I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm going to design defaults so it's easy for me to be focused. Work for 4 hours and just be laser focused. Don't have your phone, don't have anything. The next day, have all the distractions, have no defaults, just do whatever you're doing for 8 hours and see how much work you get done. You're going to be amazed that in 4 hours of focused work, you're going to get more done than in 8 hours. And ultimately, that's just going to be gearing you towards success and towards getting stuff done. And honestly, you just feel really happy. When you're focused and you see the amount of work that you've gotten done over the day, you have like dopamine and stuff rushing through you because accomplishments give you dopamine in life, right? When you, let's say you're like Michael Phelps, he's insane when he's swimming back and forth, and he accomplishes something and gets the gold, right? He's like getting an insane amount of dopamine through that, right? And adrenaline. He's probably like an adrenaline junkie. And Michael Phelps, the reason why he was so successful in his career is because he had discipline. He would be like literally every day, I think like the first thing he would do like in his morning, it would be like just jump into the pool and start swimming, right? Because he probably, he worked out in the mornings, right? He would be in the pool most of the day, swimming back and forth. And that was his focus in life. He was laser focused on one thing. And I'm not like 100% there with this right now because of big stuff that's going on in my life right now. But towards the end of the year, I'm gonna be getting more and more narrow to that point. And I'll explain that later, what's going to happen. But this, like Rubashka, my business, this is all that I do. So I'm talking about like Monday through Saturday because that's my work day. I'm not like hanging out with friends all day and doing stuff. I'm not watching a bunch of TV. I'm not playing video games. I'm not using substances or drinking or any of that crap. Like literally I work about 12 or 13 hours a day, so like my day job and this, so all I'm doing every day is working, and then for about 2 hours at the end of the day where my brain and my energy is completely depleted, I'm with my fiance and I spend time with her, and then I go to bed. So I know this might be like a turn off for you guys, but that's honestly like what it takes every day is saying no. And saying no is a really big discipline. And when you say no, that's how you can be focused, right? So people are like, hey, do you want to go and do this? No. Hey, do you want to go on this trip or this vacation? No. Like, I respect and love people that ask me for this stuff, but that's not what I want in life right now, and that's not what I'm focused on. If I say yes to everything and opportunities, then I'm not going to be able to get my business done and get stuff going, right? Because I'm not even at any level where I can let off the gas yet. There will be a time where I ease it off and it's going to be easier for me, but right now is not the time, and I know that for sure. So you kind of want to be a no person. Like there's that movie Yes Man or whatever. You want to be a no man. You want to say no to everything. You don't, like, if I had so many obligations, like if I had sports, if I had clubs, if I went out to sporting events or gaming events or concerts, if I did all of that stuff, I would not be focused on my business. I would just not get anything done. And I would not be a disciplined person. And some of you might not like that, but it's true. The more discipline and the more focus you have, the more geared and you're going to be luckier towards success, right? And this isn't necessarily like your whole life. It has to be like that. Like I said, you will there will be a point where you can let off the gas. For instance, one of my goals, so right now, with my day job, I get paid really well and I love it. But what I'm really doing is I have to pay for my wedding and getting my life set up with my wife, right? And I'm also getting really close to, I had a little bit of student loans from past 2 years, and I'm super close to getting that paid off. So once I get that paid off, and once I'm married, it's gonna be like two huge burdens off my life, and my day job helps pay for that, right? So I'm gonna get rid of the debt, and I also want to build like a kind of like a year, honestly, like a year's worth of business expenses. I want to save that up because that will gear me towards becoming a better entrepreneur and a better business person. When you have like a whole, like just a chunk of change for a whole year, you're going to be able to take more risks and be bolder in your business steps when you do that. That's a tactic that I learned from Bill Gates. He had an entire year's worth of savings for Microsoft. I think it was like $10 billion. That's like how much it costs to run that for 1 year. He saved that up, and he was able to become more bold in his decision making. So that's one of my goals. And I think by the end of this year, I'll be able to fully switch from my day job to this. And so I'm going to be allocating like a full like 7 or 8 hours, even more, towards the business at the end of the year, like every day, because I'm going to be switching. And if, you know, God willing, that happens, I'm super excited for that, because I'm going to be even more focused and disciplined for that, because I'm going to be only doing one thing in life for work. And this is all strictly about work. This is just the work day. And once I'm only doing one thing, I can ease off the gas a little bit more, which is exciting for me. I'm going to have a little bit more breathing room, right? And I hope that really happens. And you guys will see really big changes towards the end of the year. You're going to see more resources, better content, better clothing, more new products. You're going to see a lot of new stuff, because I'm going to have 7 or 8 hours more in the day for that, and I'm super excited about that. But yeah, I hope that you guys liked this video. If I know it's long, but if you can get through these long videos, I can kind of tell that you're going to be better geared towards being disciplined and focused. A lot of people are like a little bunny, a little rabbit, a little squirrel. They don't have like the attention span for like a half-hour video or something, which is okay. I'm gonna make short videos and long videos. I want to alternate, because some people like the short ones and some people like the long ones. I'm gonna try to cater as much as I can to you guys, but I'm also gonna stay true to my principles and what I think is important for you guys to learn. So I hope you liked this video. If you got some value out of it, let me know what you thought of it in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. 50% of you guys are meatheads and you're not subscribing to the channel. You're just looking here. You're spying on me. So I hope you subscribe to the channel, leaving some comments below. And I'm gonna try to make more videos this week and keep you guys inspired to become disciplined and to become focused, because that's ultimately what's gonna drive you towards getting some level of success, whatever that might be. Yeah, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks, guys.